monthly meeting of the Eastchester Fire Board. It is November 18th. We started at 7 p.m. and went into executive session. They saluted the flag, and now we're returning out of the executive session. So I'll make a motion to start public session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. So, treasurer's report.
All right. Okay. So tonight, as we know, we approved the budget at last month's meeting. So tonight, we're just looking at the current budget through October of 2021. We're continuing to present a net budget surplus of approximately $1.2 million, which is pretty much in line with where we typically are at this time of year. There are certain accounts that are, even though we are under budget for the year, there are certain accounts that are currently either over budget or the account is predicted to exceed the budget for the year. So I am going to be recommending certain budget transfers tonight. This will have to do with our terminal leave, our other miscellaneous expenses, and our telephone expenses. So I will, at the end of my report, I will read a resolution, see if the board is in agreement with the budget transfers. Again, this is just something we do periodically throughout the year, whenever we can identify the accounts are going to be over budget. I expect at this point, now that we're in November, we'll likely won't do this again until either January or February, just to close out our 2021 budget. Other than these few accounts, everything else is really trending where we would expect it to be. One thing I just wanted to point out, and this will come into play as we get to our next audit and looking at our overall financials for the end of the year. We did have certain expenses that we budgeted in 2021 that now we can see that based on timing issues with vendors and how long it's taking to get certain items, that likely we won't be able to complete the purchases in 2021. So we do expect we will have budget appropriations going into 2022. So this means, money that we budgeted for 2021 that we have committed to spend, but have not yet spent in 2021 because we haven't received delivery. Some of the main items here is going to be the new bailout system, which we had budgeted for around $50,000. The VHF radio upgrade, which was budgeted for $100,000. So I know the chief may speak about these in a little more detail, but these are items that we'll be committing to purchase in 2021, but we will not complete this year. So this will be kind of another element of our budget going into 2022. As far as that, we get to year end, we have certain updates with the healthcare, where right now we're still waiting on night shift to release the rates for 2022, which usually come out maybe the first or second weekend of December. So once we have that, we'll notify our retirees and our contributing members of their 2022 contributions. Medicare Part B reimbursements will also go out in December, so that will likely be after our next meeting, which is scheduled for the 16th. And that is my report. So we have two items to discuss that include resolutions for the board to consider. One is the budget transfers, which we've touched upon already, and I'll read those out. The other has to do with, we have three members who, because of a change in New York State legislation, they were Tier 5 in the retirement system, and they were eligible now to switch to Tier 2. This was just mandated by the state. They were eligible. There was nothing we can do about it, no decision on our part. As part of the process in the transfer of them to Tier 2, New York State, the retirement system, identified that there were some under contributions in their initial years in Tier 5. And it just looks like maybe a mistake was made at the time. This is going back to 2009. They're not significant amounts. However, interest does accrue by the state, and since the amounts are back to 2009, that pretty much, there is some interest associated with it. So Each of these members received a bill, a portion of which was contributions which they owed as a Tier 5 member for those years, and a portion of it was interest. So the total amount of interest for the three members that are impacted was $1,655.18. Those members have requested that the board consider reimbursing them for the interest, since it was seems like an error on the part of the district at the time that the contributions weren't taken out correctly. So these three members, they have paid this amount, and they understand they are responsible for the portion of it that's the contribution, but they have asked if the board would consider reimbursing them for the interest.
And is any of them over $600?
One of them is, the amounts are $743.06, $478.48, and $433.64.
Because I would prefer that the district pay the pension system directly. I agree it was a district clerical error.
Yeah.
We owe the members the money, and you're saying they've already paid.
That's correct.
Paul Sweeney, what is that? I mean, it's a legitimate reason, but now we're going to cut a check for an employee. Is that no problem, and it doesn't have any W-2 consequences?
I think it's a reimbursable issue, Chairman, and I'll defer on the tax opinion. I don't think there's withholdings involved, but we can double check that, and I can coordinate with Jamie afterwards.
All right, so you know, that's my only issue, to make sure that it doesn't create a burden. It's not their fault. You know, if that can be avoided, obviously that would be best. Are we able to vote on it just the same before that's resolved, that, you know, that's going to be taken care of in the future?
I think you can certainly resolve to reimburse the three firefighters for the premiums or the amount paid, Chairman, and I don't think I have to be specific on anything else. Jamie, I may have missed it. Was there is it just a payment for the amount owed, or is it a amount owed plus interest?
And that's it. The members themselves were billed both. The amount that they were undercharged, a clerical error by the district, and then the retirement system added the interest. So the member paid the interest and what was actually their legitimate payment. So now we want to reimburse the three members the $1,600 that they've already paid for the district.
That seems to be an appropriate reimbursement, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'll make a resolution that the three members be reimbursed $1,655.18. Anyone second that? Oh.
Commissioner Reynolds?
Aye.
Commissioner Keating?
Abstain.
Commissioner Carlin?
Aye.
Commissioner Reagan?
Aye.
Commissioner Rich?
Aye. Very good.
Okay. And then the last item I have here is the budget transfer resolution. So as I mentioned, we have identified a few accounts that we're over budget for the year. So I'm going to read the resolution now for the board's consideration. So a resolution for the following budget transfers for those GL accounts where the year-to-date 2021 expenditures have exceeded or are predicted to exceed the amount budgeted for the GL account. From 9010.8 New York State Retirement to 3416.1 Terminal Leave, an amount of $145,000. From 3410.465 consultant fees and engineers.
Excuse me.
There's going to be to 1170.5 other miscellaneous expenses in the amount of $35,000. From 3410.18 treasurer, secretary, part-time assistant salary to 1170.5 other miscellaneous expenses, $50,000. And from 3240.3 building, property repairs and maintenance to 1170.5 other miscellaneous expenses in the amount of $35,000. And finally, from 3060.2 fuel and electric to 3070.2 telephone, the amount of $22,000, for a total budget transfer of $287,000.
I will make that motion to make that transfer. Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
I'll call the roll. Commissioner Rennelli?
Aye.
Commissioner Keating?
No.
Commissioner Carter?
Aye.
Commissioner Reagan?
Aye.
Commissioner Ridge?
Aye.
And then I'll just point out, as we get to the bill payment motion, we're looking at an amount, almost $3 million of invoices this month. I just want to point out that what's driving that is our New York State retirement bill. We did receive it, it's due in December. The amount of that invoice was $2,558,839. Which actually did come in a little bit lower than we thought based on actual salaries paid, but that's really going to be the driver of these invoices, just so you are aware. It sounds like a lot of money.
Do you want to pay the bills now?
Yeah.
Okay. The board has been supplied with one set of bills and vouchers and one credit card bill for approval. Chief Tweeb has reviewed all prior to the meeting except the Ciatori claims and those specifically marked as reviewed by the treasurer. The treasurer has requested the board approve the following. Warrant 1, dated November 18, 2021, for $2,961,168.18 and a credit card bill dated tonight for $342.26 for a total of $2,961,510.44. A motion made by Commissioner Roast to pay the bills and vouchers as presented, which was seconded by Commissioner.
Carlo. I'll second it.
Commissioner Rennelli?
Aye.
Commissioner Keating?
No.
Commissioner Carter?
Aye.
Commissioner Reagan?
Aye.
Commissioner Ridge?
Aye. Chief's report.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good evening. October 2021 monthly activity, 373 alarms, 2 fire-related, 180 EMS or rescue-related, and we gave mutual aid twice to the city of Mount Vernon. Just to mention on Jamie's report that she mentioned that there's going to be some holdovers of equipment that we've ordered, but with the lead times now for suppliers, a lot of things that normally took 2 months are taking 6 to 8 months, such as turnout gear and radio equipment. So unfortunately, it's much longer lead times on things due to the pandemic and the supply shortages. So the bailout systems, we had put $50,000 reserved for that for this year. I haven't ordered that yet. I'm probably going to order it this week. I'm going to come in a little bit over that number, probably 53 or 55,000, just because of the new hires. I have to order a few extra sets of things that I wasn't anticipating. And the radio equipment I ordered today, we're basically replacing radios that are 15 to 20 years old that Motorola just gives their best effort to service them. Sometimes they're not repairable. So we're upgrading our radios in the firehouses, our repeaters, and the main base station at headquarters for the VHF. With that, again, with computer chips and stuff, they couldn't give me a lead time for the radios, but I would anticipate, probably about 4 to 6 months minimum for that. Can't really do much about it. You order it and it comes when it comes. Vehicle maintenance continues through use of outside vendors. I mentioned to the board that Tim Dalton will be out on sick leave until the beginning of December. At Station 4, Vinco Builders have pretty much removed most of the apparatus floor. They have a few issues with the outside, the waterproofing on the exterior. I think the engineer, the CEO of UES, is going to give an update to the board on that. I just think the water table is higher than the bottom of the foundation, so I think there's the waterproofing plan that they had proposed in the beginning may have to be adjusted. I think they were talking about maybe put a drainage system on the interior as well. So, but I'll leave the engineer CEO of UES to advise the board on that. I think Joe Paterno has taken a step back because I think he had some health issues, and now he's somebody else is helping us out with that. But because of that, I anticipate the construction is going to take a little bit longer. So in my report, I'm asking the board permission to ask at least 3 more months. Somebody maybe suggested longer.
I think so. You better
Okay.
go over time. And can so they're digging up the outside of the foundation.
They've
wall.
excavated
They have
right
the
down
water.
to the bottom.
The water is seeping in. There's no way to pump that out?
They can pump it out, but they believe it's the water table.
It's coming right
So
out.
it's like a permanent
So it's
level of
permanent,
water.
yeah.
And they said that there's no footings on, because the age of the building, I guess 1931, there was no normal foundations have footings that they sit on. I guess this doesn't, so they're afraid the water's gonna come underneath and just come up through the floor. If they do the waterproofing on the walls, it's gonna find another way in. So I think that's why they're gonna make an adjustment to their waterproofing plan that we started with. So I guess I'll approach the town board and the Eastchester Historical Society to see if they would be open to us extending our lease. So I'll present that to the board hopefully for the next meeting. Our current lease goes till December 31st.
That's fine, chief. No problem.
Yeah, do you need our permission to do that?
Well, if I have to sign a new lease just to,
I think it's important that we do a formal vote on that, because the chief is binding the district.
Yeah,
And he doesn't actually have that power to do that.
So let's do that now?
Yeah, so I'll give you a motion, to allow the chief to negotiate and enter into an extended lease, the town of Eastchester and the Historical Society for 3 months,
9 months.
9 months, 9 months?
I'll see what they're willing to
For
offer us.
up to 9 months,
Okay.
which would be what day? March 30th is
Well,
3. You should put the
September.
date in,
September
September,
30th.
not to exceed September 30th, 2022.
Okay.
And, yeah, there you go. Just
And I second it.
There you go.
Call the roll?
I'll call the roll. Commissioner Mandello?
Aye.
Commissioner Keating?
abstain,
Commissioner Carlo?
Aye.
Commissioner Reagan?
Yes.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
All right.
All right, thank you, Commissioners.
Great job, Tom.
Fire prevention and code enforcement activities continue with numerous plan reviews. October again is the busy month for the schools and the groups with fire prevention month. So thank you to the members and to the fire prevention captain and firefighter. They went through a lot of school children this year. Considering last year we didn't do very many because of COVID. There are currently 3 members out on long-term absence. 1 probationary firefighter has taken a leave of absence, and 2 members are continuing with their training at the academy, and they should be graduating in early January. 1 transfer candidate still continues to go through the onboarding process, and hopefully that'll be cleared up soon. It's an issue with Westchester County Civil Service that we're trying to overcome. I asked the board for permission to purchase 8 iPad Pro 5th generation tablets for the apparatus. The cost is $1,249.99 per device, and the data plan will be with AT&T FirstNet with a monthly cost of $34.99 each. They'll be used for the I Am Responding software, the Vector Check It digital check reports, and the patient care reports that we will have to complete on EMS calls. I obtained 3 quotes, and the FirstNet offered the lowest pricing. So I asked the board for permission to enter an agreement with AT&T to purchase those and have 8 monthly charges at that $34.99.
I'll make the motion.
Wait. So that's $250 a month, but have you investigated the cost of installing them into the apparatus?
I believe it's going to be like $250 to $300. I've been asking Ruscon for 2 months to give me a written proposal, and I haven't gotten it. So, but when I had done it last March, the Firematic on the Pierces was going to do it for $300, and I believe Ruscon would be in the same neighborhood
And they only do
per
2.
apparatus. Well, so Firematic would do the Pierces, and then Ruscon would do the non-Pierces, the American LaFrances, and the KME. So,
And the captain's car doesn't get one?
Well, when we get a new captain's car, it will. In the meantime, we're not gonna mount a docking station in the old 2108.
Yep. All right, so then that answers my question. Everyone feel comfortable with that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to get that equipment.
8 iPad Pro.
8
Yeah,
iPad
so
Pro.
we're doing 8
Tablets.
iPad Pro 5th generation tablets.
Yes.
At a price of $1,249.99 per tablet, as well as the associated data plan, which is a cost of $34.99 per month.
I'll second that motion.
I'll call the roll. Commissioner Randall?
Aye.
Commissioner Keating?
Yes.
Commissioner Carla?
Aye.
Commissioner Reagan?
Aye.
Commissioner Rivera?
Aye.
Thank you. My next item is at the health and safety meeting at the beginning of the year, or maybe it was even last year with COVID. I don't know if we had one this year. The board and the members on the Health and Safety Committee discussed giving members a second set of gear. So my solution to that was, instead of replacing the gear every 5 years, we were going to go on a path of replacing the gear every 4 years. So that would mean that for the next 4 years, I would need to add 6 sets of gear to my purchase. I normally buy about 17, so I'd have to buy about 23 or 24 sets of gear. That would add about $20,000 to my boots, coats, and helmets line. So I'm just asking the board's permission to exceed that budgeted boots, coats, and helmets line by approximately $20,000 if I overspend it due to this unbudgeted expense.
Can I make a motion?
Yes, sir.
Well, hold on, I just got a question here, 'cause hold on a second. We're doing all these budget transfers tonight. If we need money, why don't we have a budget transfer to transfer into this line instead of it going negative?
Well, because it didn't go negative yet.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll exceed it. I could come in, but potentially,
Okay, so.
it could go
Why
negative,
is
So we have
Conversation.
about 47,000 left in that line item
brought
for
up.
this year
Yeah.
that we could carry over if we don't spend that, and then we'll have 66,000 in it again for next year.
Right.
So you,
Right, so I think that when I put in the gear order for 23 sets, it's gonna be about 70,000. So if we only have, what'd you say we have?
we have left this year about 47,000.
So maybe it was gonna be like 60. So I anticipated with the amount of gear I was gonna get, I was gonna exceed that number by about 20,000.
Okay, but we're not gonna get it until 2022.
Yes, we won't get, it'll be one of those budget appropriations,
Okay.
so.
it's for the new budget.
Well, but next year, we're also gonna wanna spend that. I don't know that we increase that budget line.
Well, we're not gonna replace we're gonna continue replacing the gear every 5 years. We're just purchasing extras so we can replace more. The
No,
idea
so-
is to give everyone 2 sets of gear, correct?
Right, but
Right.
what happens is, I need a small cache of gears for when we hire people. I have sets of gear to give them.
Used gear.
Right, so if we stay on the 5-year schedule, there's never gonna be any used gear. By the time their second set ages out, it's not usable anymore because it's over 10
I
years
got
old.
you.
Yeah, and I have
The
to say
plan-
that further to this, I'm sorry, chief, but
Okay.
with the threat and the cancer bill and trying to make sure that you have gear that is up to snuff for everybody at all times, I don't think this is something that we should be nickel and diming with. I just want to make sure that the financial process is transparent, that people know what we're doing. It's not really about buying the gear and that the men and women need it. It's about making sure that we're being strategic and efficient in trying to represent to the public how we're spending the money. That's all.
I agree with Stu. We'll buy you anything that's necessary, Chief.
Yeah.
Okay.
But do we need to do this right now? So that's my question.
I'll probably be ordering the gear tomorrow, so I
Well,
just
you can
wanted a
order
little
the gear.
guidance.
There's no
Okay.
problem to order the gear.
Yeah,
so
they'll come next year. They said it's about an
Right.
8-month lead.
Yes.
When's the bill gonna be
And we'll pay
paid?
it next year.
Yeah,
The
it's
bill
6.
won't be paid until it's delivered.
Oh, right,
So
which
we'll
will-
make sure in
right.
our 2022 budget that we show a specific appropriation
Right.
for this line, the same as we're talking about with likely the radios and the.
Right, and the board can always choose to do a budget transfer in January of 2022 and move money out of fund balance into that
That's
line
correct.
specifically to pay this
But
bill.
as of right now, we're not overspent on this item.
Buy the gear.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next week is Thanksgiving. I asked the residents to be careful in the kitchens. Many times fires, the cause is unattended cooking. So please have a happy Thanksgiving, but please be careful with your cooking. And also, if you set candles around your house, try to keep them up away from children and pets. And if you leave your home, make sure you put out all the candles, or better yet, use the little electronic battery candles. They look nice, but so yes, just please be careful these holidays with your cooking and your candles. I want to say congratulations to Captain Phil Pinto, who is retiring this month after more than 32 years of service to the residents of the Eastchester Fire District. I wish him well in his retirement and thank him for his service, and thank you for his family for allowing him to serve the community for 32 years, because being a fireman, sometimes you miss family events and you're away for holidays. So thank you to Phil and thank you to his family. I would like to ask the board if they would be open to next month's meeting, have a promotional swearing-in ceremony and an award ceremony for a few commendations that I've received requests for or recommendation for. So at the December board meeting, if we could maybe put aside 30 minutes for a promotional and swearing-in ceremony, I would appreciate it. I think it would be nice to recognize the members that have done deeds deserving of commendation, and it'll be nice for the members that are being promoted over the next month.
I think that's a great idea.
To add that to the agenda, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Chief, just a question.
Sure.
And I'm not a party planner here, but did you have any thought about
So
doing what we've
put
done
that
in
on
the
the
past,
agenda
about
for
having
December
something
meeting.
at the Bronxville
For
Fire
December.
Yeah, we
Station,
can-
and then
Awards.
coming here and what have you?
Yeah, we can do that, like we did it the last time. We, could set something up at the Bronxville Firehouse, food and maybe a
I think that'd be
cake and stuff.
good. In
Okay.
this time of the pandemic and how things change and Christmas parties and people getting together, whatever, maybe it'd be good to do one of those.
Okay,
Maybe that'd be.
All right.
What do you think?
Yeah, I love it.
I'll keep it in line with what we've done in the past.
I'm sure you could find some of those old receipts, right?
And just one last thing, two volunteer members passed away over the last month and a half. So I asked the board to close the meeting with a moment of silence for the passing on September 1st, 2021, of exempt volunteer member John J. Conway of the Union Corners Engine Company. He served from 1987 until he was exempt in 1995. His badge was number 1738. He was a friend of mine back in high school. I mean, he was only in his 50s, so he's very young to pass away. So it's very sad about that. And the second member, he was a former volunteer member, Paul J. Whalen, who passed away on November 3rd, 2021. He served in the North End Engine Company from December 12th, 1996 until November 12th, 1998. So just under 2 years. His badge number was 1819. He lived in my neighborhood, and I knew him through his brother that I went to school with. So he was also in his 50s. So very unfortunate that these two members or former members passed away at such a young age. So I just ask if the board could have a moment of silence for those two former members.
Definitely.
Thank
Thank you, Chief. What the chief mentioned about it's Thanksgiving, people buy turkeys, they turn on their oven for the first time in 6 months, maybe a year, and they do get dirty. And if you're not using your oven, it could pose a danger. So I just ask everyone to be very careful, look at their cooking utensils and what they're going to use, and keep it safe and clean. So we're up to, please.
John, what do you think? The firefighters are such great cooks. Why don't we just have them cook for everyone?
You're going to supply the turkeys?
They can bring the turkeys.
All right, so now we're up to captain's promotion. And like the chief just mentioned in his report, Phil Pinto retired, 32 years. He's even served the community deeper than that before he became an Eastchester firefighter and raised to the rank of captain. And we wish him and his family all the best, obviously. But like everything, we need to promote another man to take his spot. Any suggestions?
I'd like to make a motion to promote Lieutenant Robert Pintoval to the rank of captain.
I could second that motion.
Okay, I'll call the roll. Commissioner Iannelli?
Oh, sorry.
Let me read the.
Yes, please, thank you.
Okay, so it's a resolution to appoint the following lieutenant, Robert Pintoval, badge 147, to the grade and title of captain, effective 11/20/21, so November 20th, 2021, subject to a 52-week term of probation and with the salary and other benefits provided for in the collective bargaining agreement with IAFF Local 916.
So Paul Renalone has made the motion, I've seconded it.
Okay, I will call the roll. Commissioner Randall?
Aye.
Commissioner Keating?
Yes, and congrats.
Commissioner Carlos?
Aye.
Commissioner Reed?
Aye.
Commissioner Rick?
Aye. So, we have a new captain, Robert Pintavalli is now, effective Saturday.
Yes.
He's our new captain. So now we're up to lieutenant promotions because we just promoted a lieutenant to captain, so now we have to promote a firefighter to fill that lieutenant spot.
Okay, so just as a reminder, we currently have 2 provisionally appointed lieutenants. The reason for that was that at the time, there was not a valid lieutenant list from civil service. The list had expired, and because of COVID, the test wasn't given for a year. So we had historically done 2 provisional appointments. So the first thing we have to do, the first resolution I'm going to read, is to revoke those provisional appointments. So this is a resolution to revoke the provisional appointments to lieutenant with respect to the firefighter with EFD badge number 185, effective November 20th, 2021, and the firefighter with EFD badge number 132, effective November 27th, 2021.
Second.
No, you have to make the motion.
I'll make a motion. Sorry. I'll make that motion.
And I will second it.
Thank you.
I'll call the roll. Commissioner Randall?
Aye.
Commissioner Keating?
Yes.
Commissioner Carlos?
Aye.
Commissioner Reed?
Aye.
Commissioner Rick?
Aye.
Okay, then the next resolution is to appoint the following firefighter, Firefighter Eric Castiello, badge number 185, to the grade and title of lieutenant, effective November 20th, 2021, subject to a 52-week term of probation and with the salary and other benefits provided for in the collective bargaining agreement with IAFF Local 916.
I will make that motion.
I'll second that one.
Commissioner Roach and Crowell.
Commissioner Randall?
Aye.
Commissioner Keating?
Absolutely, yes.
Commissioner Carlos?
Aye.
Commissioner Reed?
Aye.
Commissioner Rick?
Aye. So basically, last year, as you said, firefighter Castiello was provisionally promoted to lieutenant.
Correct.
Then he had to score high enough on the test to be probationary appointed, and then he'll be obviously a permanent lieutenant now. So congratulations on being put under that pressure and coming through.
And Tom, he did a great job provisionally to help us out with the lieutenantship, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so thank you to him. Great job.
We have one more?
Yep.
Okay, and then the final resolution I have is the resolution to appoint the following firefighter, Firefighter Joseph Costanzo, badge number 190, to the grade and title of lieutenant, effective November 27th, 2021, subject to a 52-week term of probation and with the salary and other benefits provided for in the collective bargaining agreement with IAFF Local 916. And I apologize, now that I said that, we said we were going to make that one the 20th also. Do you want me to reread it?
Yes, because it's effective the day we did.
So, resolution to appoint the following Firefighter Joseph Costanzo, badge number 190, to the grade and title of lieutenant, effective November 20th, 2021, subject to a 52-week term of probation and with the salary and other benefits provided for in the collective bargaining agreement with IAFF Local 916.
Make that motion.
And I will second it.
I'll call the roll. Commissioner Randall?
Aye.
Commissioner Keating?
Aye.
Commissioner Carlos?
Aye.
Commissioner Reed?
Aye.
Commissioner Rick?
Aye. So the resolution passes.
Okay.
Congratulations to all our members.
Could I just say that you'll have to be very specific when you refer to Captain Pintaval after Saturday, because now we'll have 2 Captain Pintavals. We have Fire Prevention Captain Thomas Pintaval and newly appointed Captain Robert Pintaval.
RPTP?
There you go.
Last but not the least, Chief.
So this is good news. Actually, this is great news. We have ministers of faith in the community that are volunteering to become chaplains in the Eastchester Fire District. We have Reverend Matthew Waterstone of the Reformed Church of Bronxville has requested that he be appointed a firefighter chaplain. Is this premature that we're going to do this in January, or we're just discussing it now, or is this something we want to do?
Appoint everyone in January if you want. Pleasure of the board. If you want to add these guys tonight, you can. You just have to reappoint everyone in January.
Do it tonight.
Perfect, I think we should have it tonight.
If
So-
you-
I agree, Tom,
If I
I
make-
agree with Stu. We can affirmatively say yes to everyone, but we need to deal with it in January, right?
Well, we'll just reappoint it in January. We can appoint him now.
I was gonna make a suggestion that if we're gonna have an award ceremony in December, perhaps we can have these clergy come to that meeting and present them with their badge at that time, and it'll be effective in January.
I don't think I could get a badge in 30 days.
Or
right now.
whatever.
I could give them a
Well-
picture of what it'll look like, but
Or to have them here in front of, members of the
Sure.
fire department and everything
Yes.
else.
we can give them a ceremonial badge.
What's your name? Do you have a name?
All right, so I make the motion to appoint Reverend Matthew Waterstone as a FD chaplain as of now, to be reappointed in January.
I'll give you a motion. I'll second it.
I'll make the motion.
Yeah, second.
Okay.
I'll call the roll. Commissioner Vanderline,
Aye.
Commissioner Keating,
I,
Commissioner Carter,
Aye.
Commissioner Reagan,
Aye.
Commissioner Ritter.
Aye.
And you're the guy, Tom, right?
Thank you, Dr. Matthew Waterstone, for joining the Eastchester Fire Department.
You're the guy, IHM.
Oh, IHM.
You sure? Okay.
The local 916.
On behalf of the promoted members, I'd like to thank the commissioners. I'm sure it was an easy decision. You had a lot of good candidates and it couldn't have been an easy choice, but thank you for doing that. Also looking forward to using all the equipment you're buying us. And I'd like to also congratulate Phil Pinto on his retirement. Hope he has a long and healthy retirement. And lastly, Commissioner Keating, you pay us all overtime, we'll come in and cook.
Did you hear that, Brian?
I didn't hear it.
If you supply the turkeys and pay the members overtime, he'll come in and cook for you.
Hey, Steve, the firemen are the best cooks in the universe. I hope you know that.
So it'll be worthwhile. All right, public comments? Have anyone from the public online that wants to, or on the phone? Commissioner comments?
Just, Tom, just that the firefighter, best cooks in the universe.
Great comment. I agree with you. All right, so then, oh,
Do you have
please.
anything you want to report?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, so I was just giving you the.
Okay, no, go ahead.
Okay, that's all right. A couple things. One, I echo Steve's comments about Captain Pinto. We wish him the best in his retirement. I understand that there's an event going on tonight right at this time for him, and of course we would be there if we were not here. So we are doing our own individual prayers in our own way for him and his family moving forward. Secondly, the chief was able to verify that November 30th is the Gelt Drop in Eastchester, and that is a wonderful event that started when I was still working in the Parks and Recreation Department. The ladder truck will be there. Rabbi Shirley Deitch, who is also one of our chaplains here in the fire department, will have his congregation out at the Veterans Park on Route 22 in Eastchester near Lake Isle, where they'll be have a nice ladder truck out there and have some candy and potato pancakes and jelly donuts. It's a great event. EVAC comes out. Please come out. Obviously, the fire department's there, a lot of municipal people there. It's a wonderful time. I invite everyone to come out there. I think it's around 6 o'clock or so. It's in celebration of Hanukkah. It's on the town's website and the recreation Instagram. Please go check it out. It's truly a great time, good music, a lot of people there. And lastly, I just have to say I'm a little shocked that this is probably the first fire meeting in November, and I know I have time not to jinx it, that we have an election coming up in December, next month on the 14th, right? From 2 to 9. And there isn't one person from the public here to talk to us in front of the cameras to discuss fire department issues as a candidate. And I find that incredibly funny because that's traditionally been what's happened at every November meeting. And I was looking forward to seeing that, as this is my last November meeting. Those signatures are still due, who knows? But I think everyone should get involved. Please get out and vote for the fire district election on December 14th. Check our website for your polling location, 2 to 9. And good luck to anyone who happens to be running. And that's it for me. Thanks for the time, Chairman.
You forgot October meeting already?
Oh, yeah, but I just hope that people come out in November, because, you know, it's the last bite of the apple before the election.
Well, I hope that our citizens come out to vote. Wouldn't it be great if we had 2,000 citizens come out to vote in the fire district election?
Yep.
That would really show us that they're concerned and they know what's going on. So, any other comments?
Yeah, now I have a comment. Yeah, I want to congratulate Phil Pinto on his retirement, and have a happy and healthy, long retirement, Phil. You deserve it. Also, I want to thank Bill Wigerman for taking a provisional lieutenant's appointment back in April, based and being unable to take a probationary appointment because he didn't do well enough on the last promotional exam. But I want to thank him for doing that. He said even if it was only a temporary thing, he would gladly take the opportunity to do it, and I'm glad he did. And also, we will be meeting next week to discuss a lieutenant's position for his position. Right. So we are going to be making another lieutenant's promotion.
And just to qualify that, you know, he did it, Bill Wigerman, you know, we had to promote him to firefighter. He did an awesome job. He
Yes.
filled in a role for us. We did not want to, and I just want to let the community know he's on the list, and as soon as he becomes reachable, he'll certainly get another shot.
Yes. And
So,
congratulations to Robert Pintaval on your appointment to captain, and Joe Costanzo on your appointment to lieutenant.
And so we'll close for a moment of silence, and then I'll make a resolution in the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
So we want to remember John J. Conway and Paul J. Whalen, who have served the Eastchester community, and we now think of them and their eternal souls.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
And so, these two things.